Hello students, welcome to CBSE Class 10 Artificial Intelligence, Part B. In this chapter, we will explore advanced concepts of modeling in AI, and our focus will be on modeling. Before an AI system can make predictions or solve problems, it needs to learn from data. The process of creating a representation of patterns found in data is called modeling. A model acts like the brain of an AI system. It helps the system understand information and make decisions based on what it has learned. We use AI models in many areas of our daily lives. For example, when a music app recommends songs you may like, when an online store suggests products, or when a navigation app finds the best route to your destination, AI models are working behind the scenes. In this chapter, we will learn what modeling is, why it is important, and how different types of models are used to solve real-world problems. We will also understand how AI systems learn from data and improve their performance over time. By the end of this lesson, you will have a clear understanding of the role of modeling in artificial intelligence and how it forms the foundation of intelligent systems. So, let us begin our exciting journey into the world of AI modeling. Topics to be covered. Before we dive into AI modeling, let's take a look at the topics we will cover in this chapter. We will begin by understanding the different types of AI models and how they are used to solve various problems. Next, we will learn about the rule-based approach, where AI systems make decisions using a set of predefined rules created by humans. We will also discuss the limitations and drawbacks of rule-based AI models and understand why they are not suitable for every situation. After that, we will explore the learning-based approach, in which AI systems learn from data and improve their performance over time. We will then compare rule-based and learning-based approaches to understand their key differences and applications. Moving ahead, we will study the categories of machine learning models. This includes supervised learning, where the model learns from labeled data. We will also look at some practical examples to understand how it works. Next, we will learn about unsupervised learning, where the model identifies patterns and relationships in data without predefined labels. We will discuss examples of this approach as well. Finally, we will compare supervised learning and unsupervised learning to understand how they differ in terms of data, training process, and real-world applications. By the end of this chapter, you will have a strong understanding of the major AI modeling approaches and the different ways machines learn from data. As we continue exploring AI models, we will next study reinforcement learning, often called RL. In this approach, an AI system learns by interacting with its environment and receiving rewards for correct actions and penalties for incorrect ones. We will look at some real-life examples and understand the key features that make reinforcement learning unique. After that, we will review a summary of machine learning models to get a clear picture of how different learning approaches are related to one another. We will then focus on the types of supervised learning models. Two important types are classification and regression. In classification, the AI model predicts categories or labels. For example, determining whether an email is spam or not spam. We will discuss several examples to understand this concept better. In regression, the AI model predicts numerical values. For example, estimating the price of a house or predicting future sales. We will also explore practical examples of regression. Finally, we will learn about the types of unsupervised learning models, which help discover hidden patterns and relationships in data without using labeled examples. By the end of these topics, you will have a comprehensive understanding of how different machine learning models work and where they are used in real-world applications. Next, we will learn about clustering, an important type of unsupervised learning. Clustering helps AI group similar data points together without using predefined labels. We will also explore some real-world examples to understand how clustering is used in different applications. After that, we will discuss the difference between clustering and classification. Although both involve grouping data, they work in different ways and are used for different purposes. Understanding this distinction is important for selecting the right machine learning approach. We will then study association, a technique used to discover relationships and patterns between different items in a dataset. This method is commonly used in recommendation systems and market basket analysis. Next, we will compare the various machine learning models we have studied. This comparison will help us understand the strengths, limitations, and suitable applications of each model. Moving forward, we will be introduced to deep learning, a powerful branch of artificial intelligence that is inspired by the way the human brain processes information. We will learn about its main categories and applications. We will then explore artificial neural networks, or RANs, which form the foundation of deep learning systems. These networks consist of interconnected nodes that work together to process information and make predictions. Finally, we will learn about convolutional neural networks, commonly known as CNNs. These specialized neural networks are widely used for image recognition, facial recognition, medical imaging, and many other computer vision applications. By the end of this chapter, you will have a complete overview of modern AI modeling techniques, from basic machine learning concepts to advanced deep learning models. Modeling. Modeling is one of the most important steps in the artificial intelligence project cycle. It is the process of developing and training an AI model so that it can learn from data and make intelligent decisions. During modeling, the AI system analyzes the data and identifies patterns, relationships, and connections within it. Special algorithms are used to process the data and learn from these patterns. The model is trained repeatedly using the available data. With each round of training, it improves its understanding and becomes better at making predictions or solving problems. The goal of modeling is to create an AI system that can produce accurate and reliable results when presented with new data. In simple terms, modeling teaches the AI how to think, learn, and make decisions based on the information it receives. For example, if we want an AI system to identify spam emails, the model is trained using many examples of spam and non-spam emails. After sufficient training, it learns the differences and can classify new emails correctly. Thus, modeling helps transform raw data into intelligent systems capable of performing useful tasks. Types of AI models. AI models can generally be classified into two broad categories: rule-based models and learning-based models. Rule-based models work by following a set of predefined rules created by humans. Whenever a specific condition is met, the system follows the corresponding rule to make a decision. These models are useful when the problem and its solutions are clearly defined. Learning-based models are different because they learn directly from data. Instead of relying only on fixed rules, they identify patterns, gain experience through training, and improve their performance over time. Learning-based models are further divided into machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning includes three important approaches: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. In supervised learning, the model learns from labeled examples. In unsupervised learning, it discovers hidden patterns in unlabeled data. Reinforcement learning allows the model to learn through rewards and penalties based on its actions. Deep learning is a more advanced form of learning that uses neural networks inspired by the human brain. Some common deep learning models include artificial neural networks, which process information through interconnected layers, and convolutional neural networks, which are especially effective for image recognition and computer vision tasks. Understanding these categories helps us see how AI systems learn, make decisions, and solve real world problems. In the next section, we will begin by exploring rule based and learning based approaches in more detail. Rule based approach. One of the earliest and simplest approaches in artificial intelligence is the rule based approach, also known as model driven AI. In this approach, the AI system is built using predefined rules, labels, patterns, and relationships created by human experts or developers. Instead of learning from data, the system follows a set of instructions that tell it exactly what to do in different situations. The developer carefully defines these rules, and whenever the AI receives input, it checks the rules and produces the appropriate output. In other words, the intelligence of the system comes from the rules written by humans rather than from learning or experience. For example, many customer support chatbots on websites use a rule-based approach. When a user asks a common question such as, "What are your business hours?" or "How can I track my order?" the chatbot matches the question with predefined rules and provides the corresponding answer. As shown in the diagram, the system receives data along with a set of rules. These are processed by the rule-based model, which then generates the required output. Rule-based AI systems work best when tasks follow clear and predictable logic. They are commonly used in customer support systems, healthcare diagnostic tools, inventory management systems, security access control systems, and flight booking applications. Although rule-based systems can be highly effective for well-defined tasks, they depend entirely on the rules provided by developers and cannot learn new patterns on their own. This limitation led to the development of learning-based AI models, which we will study next. Rule-based approach example. Let us understand the rule-based approach with a simple example. Imagine a food delivery company that uses a chatbot to help customers with their orders. Customers may ask questions such as, "Where is my order? When will my food arrive?" or "How can I make a payment?" In a rule-based system, the chatbot does not learn from experience. Instead, it follows a predefined set of rules created by developers. Each common customer query is linked to a specific response. For example, if a customer asks about the status of an order, the chatbot checks its predefined rules and provides the appropriate reply. Similarly, if a customer asks about delivery time or payment issues, the chatbot selects the corresponding response from its list of programmed answers. Notice that this chatbot does not require a large amount of training data. It relies mainly on a collection of frequently asked questions and predefined responses. As long as the customer's question matches one of the available rules, the chatbot can provide an answer quickly and accurately. However, if a customer asks a question that is not covered by the predefined rules, the chatbot may fail to provide a useful response. This highlights one of the key limitations of rule-based systems. They can only handle situations that have already been anticipated by the developer. This example shows how rule-based AI works by following predefined instructions rather than learning from data. Rule-based approach rules. Let us now see how the food delivery chatbot handles customer queries using predefined rules. When a customer asks about their order status, delivery time, or wants to track a delivery, the chatbot identifies these keywords and understands that the customer is looking for delivery-related information. It then asks the customer to enter their order number. Once the customer provides the order number, the chatbot checks whether the number is valid. If the order number is valid, the chatbot accesses the database and displays the relevant delivery details, such as the current status of the order and the expected delivery time. If the order number is not valid, the chatbot displays an error message and asks the customer to enter the correct order number again. This process shows how a rule-based system works. Every response is determined by predefined rules created by the developer. The chatbot simply follows these instructions step by step and provides the appropriate response based on the situation. Let us continue with the next set of rules used by the food delivery chatbot. According to the third rule, if a customer mentions a payment-related issue, such as a refund request, a payment failure, or being charged twice for the same order, the chatbot identifies the problem as a payment concern. It then guides the customer to the appropriate payment assistance options. If the customer provides more details about the payment problem, the chatbot either directs them to a troubleshooting page containing possible solutions or offers to connect them with a customer support representative for further assistance. The fourth rule deals with situations where the chatbot cannot understand the customer's request. If the user's message does not match any of the predefined rules, the chatbot is unable to determine the correct response. In such cases, the chatbot displays a message informing the customer that it could not understand the request. It then suggests visiting the help center or contacting customer support for further assistance. These examples show that a rule-based system can only respond to situations that have already been defined by the developer. Whenever a query falls outside the available rules, the system cannot generate a new solution on its own and must rely on human support. Rule-based approach interaction. After understanding the rules, let's see how the chatbot interacts with customers. A rule-based chatbot communicates using predefined responses. When a customer sends a message, the chatbot checks the message against its programmed rules and then provides the appropriate response. For example, if a customer asks, "Where's my order?" the chatbot recognizes that the customer is looking for order tracking information. Based on its predefined rules, it responds by asking the customer to provide the order number so that the order status can be checked. Similarly, if a customer says, "My payment was charged twice," the chatbot identifies this as a payment-related issue. It then responds with a predefined message, directing the customer to payment assistance resources or offering to connect them with the support team. This interaction demonstrates how a rule-based chatbot operates. It does not understand the conversation in the same way a human would. Instead, it matches user queries with predefined rules and delivers the corresponding responses. As long as the customer's query fits within the programmed rules, the chatbot can provide quick and accurate assistance. Limitations and drawbacks of rule-based AI models. Although rule-based systems are simple to design and work well for straightforward tasks, they have several limitations, especially when dealing with complex and changing situations. One major limitation is that rule-based systems cannot learn from new data, feedback, or past mistakes. Once the rules have been programmed, the system continues to follow them exactly as they are. If any changes are required, a developer must manually update the rules. This makes the system less adaptable and difficult to scale when requirements change over time. Another drawback is the lack of flexibility in complex situations. Rule-based systems perform well when the problem is simple and predictable. However, they struggle when faced with new, uncertain, or rapidly changing scenarios. Since every possible condition and response must be defined in advance, it becomes difficult to create rules for every situation that might occur. As a result, rule-based AI systems are best suited for tasks with clear and fixed requirements, but they are less effective in environments where learning, adaptation, and handling unexpected situations are important. Another limitation of rule-based AI systems is that they require a great deal of manual effort and time to develop and maintain. Developers must carefully create every rule, condition, and decision path that the system may need. As the system becomes larger and more complex, managing and updating all these rules becomes increasingly difficult and time-consuming. Rule-based systems also have limited decision-making and learning capabilities. They operate mainly using simple, if-then, logic and can only respond according to the rules that have been programmed into them. Unlike learning-based AI models, they cannot understand context, learn from experience, or improve their performance over time. If the system encounters a situation that is not covered by its predefined rules, it may be unable to provide an appropriate response. This makes rule-based AI less effective in dynamic environments where new situations and challenges arise frequently. These limitations highlight why modern AI systems increasingly rely on learning-based approaches, which can learn from data, adapt to new situations, and make more intelligent decisions. Another important limitation of rule-based AI systems is their dependence on human expertise. The effectiveness of the system depends entirely on how well the rules are designed by developers and domain experts. If the rules are incomplete or incorrect, the system's performance will also be affected. Whenever there is a change in requirements or a new situation arises, experts must manually review, modify, or add new rules. The system cannot make these adjustments on its own. As a result, rule-based AI models are most suitable for small-scale applications where tasks are repetitive, clearly defined, and do not change frequently. They work best in environments where only a limited number of updates are required and flexibility is not a major concern. For more complex and dynamic situations, learning-based AI models are generally preferred because they can learn from data, adapt to new conditions, and improve their performance over time. Learning-based approach. Unlike rule-based AI, where developers define all the rules in advance, learning-based AI works by learning from data. This approach is also known as data-driven AI. In a learning-based approach, the AI system is trained using large amounts of data. Instead of being told exactly what rules to follow, the system examines the data, identifies patterns, and learns relationships on its own. As the model processes more data, it becomes better at recognizing patterns and making accurate predictions or decisions. In other words, the rules are not manually programmed by developers. Instead, the AI discovers these rules automatically during the learning process. For example, if we want an AI system to identify spam emails, we can provide it with thousands of examples of spam and non-spam emails. By analyzing these examples, the system learns the characteristics of each category and develops its own method for classifying new emails. As shown in the diagram, the model receives data along with the expected outputs. By studying the relationship between the input data and the outputs, the machine learning system generates its own set of rules. These learned rules can then be used to make predictions when new data is provided. This ability to learn from data and improve over time makes learning-based AI much more flexible and powerful than traditional rule-based systems. Learning-based approach example. Let us understand the learning-based approach with an example. Imagine that you have a collection of 1,000 images of different trees from a forest. You do not know anything about these trees beforehand. You have no information about their height, color, fruit type, leaf shape, or any other characteristics. When these images are given to a learning-based AI model, the system begins analyzing them to identify patterns and similarities. Instead of following predefined rules, the AI examines the data and discovers relationships on its own. As it studies the images, the model may notice that some trees have similar heights, while others have similar leaf shapes. Based on these observations, it automatically groups the trees into different categories or clusters. For example, one group may contain tall trees, another may contain medium-height trees, and a third may contain shorter trees. Similarly, the AI may create separate groups based on the shape of the leaves. Interestingly, the model may also discover patterns that humans might not immediately notice. It could group trees based on bark texture, branch structure, or growth patterns without being explicitly instructed to do so. This example demonstrates the power of learning-based AI. Rather than relying on predefined rules, the system learns directly from the data, identifies hidden patterns, and organizes information in meaningful ways. This ability to discover knowledge from data makes learning-based AI highly useful for solving complex real-world problems. Key features of the learning-based approach. One of the most important characteristics of the learning-based approach is that the machine learns on its own from data. Unlike rule-based systems, where all rules are defined by the developer, learning-based AI discovers patterns and relationships automatically. The data used for training can be either labeled or unlabeled. In labeled data, the correct output is already known, while in unlabeled data, the AI must identify patterns without any predefined answers. As the model analyzes the data, it searches for similarities, trends, and relationships. It then groups similar data together and develops its own set of rules based on what it learns. These rules are not explicitly programmed by a developer but are created by the AI during the learning process. Another important feature of learning-based AI is its ability to adapt. Once the model has been trained, it can continue learning from new data and adjust its algorithms when necessary. This means that if new information becomes available or if the data changes over time, the model can adapt without requiring manual updates from developers. As a result, learning-based AI systems are more flexible than rule-based systems. They can identify new trends, handle changing situations, and improve their predictions over time, making them highly effective for solving real-world problems. Learning-based approach, recommendation systems. A common example of the learning-based approach is the recommendation system used by online streaming platforms such as Netflix. When you watch movies or TV shows on Netflix, the platform keeps track of your viewing preferences. It observes the genres you like, the shows you watch frequently, the content you rate positively, and even the time you spend watching different programs. Instead of following a fixed set of rules created by developers, the recommendation system learns from this user data. As more people use the platform, the system gathers more information and becomes better at understanding viewing patterns and preferences. For example, if you regularly watch science fiction and adventure movies, the system may recommend similar content that other users with similar interests have enjoyed. Over time, the recommendations become more accurate because the AI continuously learns from user interactions and adapts to changing preferences. This is a perfect example of a learning-based AI system. Rather than relying on predefined rules, it learns from data, identifies patterns, and makes intelligent recommendations based on what it has learned. How recommendation systems learn and adapt. Let us now understand how a learning-based recommendation system works behind the scenes. During the training phase, the AI system is provided with a large amount of data. This data may include a user's viewing history, ratings, watch preferences, search activity, and other behavioral information. The machine learning model analyzes this data to identify patterns. For example, it may discover that users who enjoy action movies also tend to watch adventure films, or that fans of a particular actor often watch similar types of content. After learning these patterns, the system begins making predictions. It can recommend movies or TV shows that a user is likely to enjoy based on their past viewing behavior. One of the biggest advantages of this approach is its ability to adapt. If a user starts watching a new genre or their interests change over time, the system notices these changes and updates its recommendations accordingly. As more data becomes available, the model continues to learn and improve. This helps the recommendations become more accurate and personalized over time. This learning-based approach allows streaming platforms like Netflix to provide content suggestions that match individual preferences without requiring developers to create separate rules for every user and every possible situation. Rule-based versus learning-based approaches. Now that we have studied both rule-based and learning-based AI systems, let's compare them to understand their key differences. The first difference is in the way they handle data. A rule-based system works using predefined rules created by developers and does not automatically adapt to new data. In contrast, a learning-based system learns directly from data and can adapt as new information becomes available. The second difference is adaptability. Once a rule-based system has been programmed, its behavior remains fixed unless a developer manually updates the rules. A learning-based system, however, continuously improves and adjusts itself as it processes more data. The third difference is flexibility. Rule-based systems are limited to the rules written by humans. If a situation falls outside those rules, the system may not know how to respond. Learning-based systems are more flexible because they can discover patterns in data and develop their own decision-making strategies. Another important difference is error handling. Rule-based systems cannot effectively deal with situations that have not been anticipated in advance. Learning-based systems can learn from mistakes, improve over time, and handle new or unseen data more effectively. A simple example of a rule-based system is a chatbot that responds using predefined answers to specific questions. On the other hand, an email spam filter is an example of a learning-based system because it learns from new emails and continuously improves its ability to identify spam messages. In summary, rule-based systems rely on human-created rules, while learning-based systems rely on data and experience. This ability to learn and adapt makes learning-based AI more suitable for solving complex real-world problems. Types of machine learning models. So far, we have learned that learning-based AI systems learn from data instead of relying on predefined rules. One of the most important branches of learning-based AI is machine learning. Machine learning can be divided into three main categories: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. In supervised learning, the model learns with the help of labeled data. This is similar to a student learning under the guidance of a teacher. The correct answers are already known, and the model learns by comparing its predictions with these answers. In unsupervised learning, there are no labels or predefined answers. The model explores the data on its own, identifies patterns, and groups similar data together. This is similar to a student discovering relationships and patterns without direct guidance. The third category is reinforcement learning. In this approach, the model learns through trial and error. It performs actions, receives rewards for correct decisions and penalties for incorrect ones, and gradually learns the best way to achieve a goal. As shown in the diagram, these three categories form the foundation of machine learning. Each category uses a different learning method and is suitable for different types of problems. In the next few sections, we will explore each of these machine learning models in detail and understand how they are used in real-world applications. Understanding supervised learning. Supervised learning is one of the most commonly used types of machine learning. In this approach, the model learns from labeled data, which means that each training example includes both the input data and the correct output. You can think of it like a student learning with the help of a teacher. The teacher provides questions along with the correct answers, and the student learns by studying these examples. Similarly, a supervised learning model learns by analyzing data that already contains the correct outcomes. As the model studies these labeled examples, it begins to identify patterns and relationships between the inputs and outputs. Once it has learned these patterns, it can use this knowledge to make predictions on new data that it has never seen before. A label acts like a tag that tells the model what each piece of data represents. These labels help the model learn how to classify data correctly and make accurate predictions. In supervised learning, the dataset is usually divided into two parts. The first part is called the training dataset, which is used to teach the model using labeled examples. The second part is called the test dataset, which is used to evaluate how well the model performs on unseen data. Since the model learns from known answers during training, supervised learning often achieves high accuracy and reliable results. It is also generally faster to train because the correct outputs are already available, making it easier for the model to learn the desired patterns. In the next section, we will explore some real-world examples of supervised learning and see how it is used in everyday applications. To understand supervised learning better, let's consider a simple example from cricket. Imagine that you are learning cricket under the guidance of a coach. The coach teaches you the correct techniques for batting, bowling, catching, and fielding. They demonstrate the right methods and explain what you should do in different situations. Whenever you make a mistake, the coach immediately corrects you. If you play a shot incorrectly, the coach shows you the proper technique. If you miss a catch, the coach explains what went wrong and how you can improve. As you continue practicing and receiving feedback, your skills gradually improve. You learn by studying correct examples and understanding your mistakes. This is very similar to how supervised learning works in machine learning. The AI model is trained using labeled data, where both the input and the correct output are already known. Just as a cricket coach guides a player by providing correct instructions and feedback, labeled data guides the AI model by providing the correct answers. By learning from these examples, the model improves its performance and becomes better at making predictions over time. This is why supervised learning is often described as learning with guidance or learning under supervision. Supervised learning example vehicle classification. Let us see a real-world example of supervised learning called vehicle classification. Suppose we want to build an AI model that can identify the type of vehicle based on its engine power and weight. To train the model, we first collect data about different vehicles. For each vehicle, we record important features such as engine power, measured in cubic centimeters or cc, and weight, measured in kilograms. Since this is a supervised learning problem, each example in the dataset is already labeled with the correct vehicle type. For instance, a vehicle with an engine power of 150 cc and a weight of 120 kilograms is labeled as a bike. A vehicle with an engine power of 1500 cc and a weight of 1200 kilograms is labeled as a car. Similarly, larger vehicles with higher engine power and weight may be labeled as trucks, while lighter vehicles may be labeled as scooters. The AI model studies these labeled examples and learns the relationship between the input features, such as engine power and weight, and the corresponding vehicle type. After training, when the model receives information about a new vehicle, it can analyze its features and predict whether it is a bike, scooter, car, or truck. This is a classic example of supervised learning because the model learns from labeled data and uses that knowledge to classify new, unseen examples. How the vehicle classification model learns. Let us now understand how the vehicle classification model learns from the data. In this example, the features are the characteristics used to describe each vehicle. These features include the vehicle's engine power and weight. The label is the output that the model is expected to predict. In this case, the label is the vehicle type, such as a bike, scooter, car, or truck. During training, the model studies the labeled dataset and learns the relationship between the input features and the corresponding vehicle type. As it analyzes more examples, it begins to identify patterns in the data. For instance, it may learn that vehicles with lower engine power and lower weight are often bikes or scooters. Similarly, vehicles with higher engine power and greater weight are more likely to be trucks, while vehicles that fall in between may be classified as cars. Once the training process is complete, the model can use the patterns it has learned to classify new vehicles. When it receives the engine power and weight of an unfamiliar vehicle, it compares those values with the patterns learned during training and predicts the most likely vehicle type. This demonstrates how supervised learning uses labeled examples to learn relationships and make accurate predictions on new data. Making predictions with a supervised learning model. After the model has been trained, it is ready to make predictions on new data. Suppose we provide the model with information about a vehicle that has an engine power of 5,000 cubic centimeters and a weight of 5,000 kilograms. The model first examines these input values and compares them with the patterns it learned during training. It recalls that vehicles with very high engine power and heavy weight are generally classified as trucks. Based on this learned knowledge, the supervised learning model predicts that the vehicle belongs to the truck category. As shown in the diagram, the engine power and weight are provided as inputs to the supervised learning model. The model processes this information using the patterns learned from the label training data and then produces the predicted output, which in this case is truck. This example demonstrates the main goal of supervised learning, learning from labeled examples and using that knowledge to accurately classify or predict new, unseen data. Supervised learning example vegetable classification. Let us look at another example of supervised learning called vegetable classification. In this example, we want to build an AI model that can identify different vegetables based on their images. To train the model, we provide it with a large collection of vegetable images. Each image is labeled with the correct vegetable name, such as carrot, tomato, potato, cabbage, or brinjal. Here, the image acts as the input feature, while the vegetable name serves as the label or correct output. During training, the model studies these labeled images and learns to recognize important visual characteristics such as shape, color, texture, and size. By analyzing many examples, it begins to understand the unique features that distinguish one vegetable from another. For instance, it may learn that carrots are usually long and orange, tomatoes are round and red, and cabbages have layers of green leaves. As the model continues learning, it becomes better at identifying patterns in the images and associating them with the correct vegetable names. Once the training process is complete, the model can examine a new image and predict which vegetable it represents. This makes vegetable classification a good example of supervised learning, where the model learns from labeled examples and uses that knowledge to classify unseen data. How the vegetable classification model works. Let us see how the vegetable classification model works in practice. The training process begins with a collection of labeled images. Each image is associated with the correct vegetable name. For example, images of carrots are labeled as carrot, images of tomatoes are labeled as tomato, and images of bell peppers are labeled as bell pepper. The model studies these labeled images and learns important visual features such as color, shape, size, and texture. By analyzing many examples, it begins to recognize the characteristics that make each vegetable unique. As shown in the diagram, the labeled data is first used to train the model. During this stage, the model learns the relationship between the image and its corresponding label. Once the training process is complete, the model is tested using new images that it has never seen before. These images are known as test data. The model examines the features of each test image and compares them with the patterns it learned during training. Based on these learned patterns, it predicts the correct vegetable name. For example, if the image contains the characteristics of a carrot, the model predicts carrot. If the image matches the features of a tomato or a bell pepper, it predicts those labels accordingly. This example demonstrates how supervised learning uses labeled data to train a model and then applies that knowledge to classify new and unseen images accurately. Understanding unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning that works with unlabeled data. Unlike supervised learning, the data provided to the model does not contain predefined answers or labels. The model must analyze the data on its own and discover patterns, relationships, and trends. The main goal of unsupervised learning is to understand the structure of the data. It identifies similarities and differences between data points and groups similar items together. Instead of being told what to look for, the model explores the data independently and generates its own insights. To understand this concept, imagine learning cricket without the guidance of a coach. There is no one to tell you whether your batting technique is correct or incorrect. You and your friends practice on your own and experiment with different ways of batting, bowling, and fielding. Over time, you begin to notice patterns. You may observe that certain batting techniques produce better results, some bowling styles are more effective, and particular field placements help prevent runs. Based on these observations, you naturally group similar techniques and strategies together. This is very similar to how unsupervised learning works. The algorithm receives unlabeled data and independently searches for hidden patterns, clusters, and relationships within it. By analyzing the data without predefined answers, it can uncover useful information that may not be immediately obvious to humans. Unsupervised learning example music listener grouping. Let us understand unsupervised learning with the example of an online music streaming service. Imagine that a music streaming platform wants to better understand its users based on their listening habits. The platform collects information such as the genres people listen to, the songs they play frequently, the artists they follow, and the playlists they create. However, the platform does not have predefined labels such as pop music lovers or rock music fans. Instead, it only has raw user activity data. Using unsupervised learning, the AI system analyzes this data and looks for patterns. It identifies users who have similar listening habits and automatically groups them together. For example, one group may consist of users who mostly listen to pop music, while another group may include users who prefer rock music. A different group might contain users who enjoy classical or instrumental music. These groups are not created manually by developers. The AI discovers them on its own by analyzing similarities in user behavior. Once these groups have been identified, the music streaming platform can use them to provide better recommendations, create personalized playlists, and improve the overall user experience. This is a good example of unsupervised learning because the AI works with unlabeled data and discovers meaningful patterns and groupings without being told what categories to create. How unsupervised learning creates clusters. Let us continue with the example of the online music streaming service. The platform stores a large amount of information about users and their listening habits over time. This includes details such as the number of hours spent listening to different types of music. Suppose you are a music curator who wants to create personalized playlists for different groups of listeners. However, there are no predefined labels that identify users as rock music fans or classical music lovers. In this situation, an unsupervised learning model analyzes the listening patterns of all users. It looks for similarities in their behavior and automatically groups users with similar preferences together. For example, the model may discover one group of users who spend most of their listening time enjoying rock music. It places these users into one cluster. At the same time, it may identify another group of users who spend most of their listening time listening to classical music. These users are placed into a different cluster. As shown in the diagram, users with similar listening habits naturally form groups or clusters. The model discovers these clusters on its own without being given any predefined categories. After identifying the clusters, we can interpret them and give them meaningful names, such as rock music fans and classical music lovers. This example demonstrates the key idea behind unsupervised learning. The model works with unlabeled data, discovers hidden patterns, and groups similar data points together automatically. Unsupervised learning example: vegetable grouping. Let us look at another example of unsupervised learning using vegetable images. Imagine that an AI model is given a collection of vegetable images, but none of the images have labels. The model does not know which images represent onions, brinjals, or bell peppers. Since there are no predefined labels, the model cannot learn by matching images with correct answers. Instead, it carefully analyzes the visual features of each image. It studies characteristics such as shape, size, color, and texture. As it examines the images, it begins to notice similarities between certain vegetables. For example, it may find that some images have a similar shape and color. These images are grouped into one cluster. Another set of images may share a different appearance and are placed into a second cluster. Similarly, a third group of similar images forms another cluster. As shown in the diagram, the model automatically creates separate groups for bell peppers, brinjals, and onions based on their visual similarities. It is important to note that the model was never told the names of these vegetables. It simply identified patterns in the data and grouped similar images together. This is the key idea behind unsupervised learning. The model works with unlabeled data, discovers hidden patterns, and forms meaningful clusters without any predefined answers or guidance. Supervised learning versus unsupervised learning. Now that we have understood both supervised and unsupervised learning, let us compare them to see how they differ. The first difference is in the type of data they use. Supervised learning works with labeled data, where each input already has a correct output or answer. Unsupervised learning works with unlabeled data, where no predefined answers are available. The second difference is their objective. Supervised learning is used to predict or classify new data based on examples it has learned during training. Unsupervised learning focuses on discovering hidden patterns, relationships, and groupings within the data. Another difference is how the models learn. In supervised learning, the model learns from known answers and receives guidance during training. In unsupervised learning, the model explores the data independently and identifies patterns on its own. The practical applications are also different. A supervised learning model can be used to detect whether an email is spam or not by learning from previously labeled emails. An unsupervised learning model can be used to group customers according to their buying behavior without any predefined categories. There is also a difference in computational requirements. Supervised learning generally requires less computational power because the data is already organized and labeled. Unsupervised learning often requires more processing power because it must analyze large amounts of raw data and discover patterns without guidance. In summary, supervised learning learns from labeled examples to make predictions, while unsupervised learning learns from unlabeled data to uncover hidden structures and meaningful groupings. Introduction to Reinforcement Learning. So far, we have explored supervised learning and unsupervised learning. Now let us understand the third major category of machine learning, known as reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is a learning method in which an intelligent agent, such as a computer program or a robot, learns by interacting with its environment. Instead of being given correct answers in advance, the agent learns through experience. The agent performs different actions and observes the results of those actions. If an action leads to a desirable outcome, the agent receives a reward. If the action produces an undesirable result, it receives a penalty or negative feedback. This process is similar to how humans learn many skills. We often learn by trying different approaches, observing the outcomes, and gradually improving our performance based on feedback. Reinforcement learning is therefore a feedback-driven learning method. The agent continuously experiments with different actions and learns which actions are beneficial and which should be avoided. Over time, the agent develops a strategy that helps it achieve the highest possible rewards. By repeatedly learning from its successes and mistakes, it becomes more efficient at making decisions and solving problems. This trial-and-error approach makes reinforcement learning especially useful in situations where the best action is not known beforehand and must be discovered through experience. Reinforcement learning example: learning from negative feedback. Let us understand reinforcement learning with a simple example. Imagine that we are training an AI model to identify different objects in images. We provide the model with an image of a dog and ask it to predict what the object is. At the beginning of the training process, the model may not have enough experience to make the correct prediction. As shown in the diagram, the model looks at the image of the dog but incorrectly predicts that it is a cat. Since the prediction is wrong, the model receives negative feedback. This feedback acts like a penalty and informs the model that its decision was incorrect. The model then uses this feedback to adjust its learning process. It analyzes its mistake and modifies its internal decision-making strategy so that it is less likely to make the same error again. This process is an important part of reinforcement learning. The model is not simply told all the correct answers in advance. Instead, it learns through trial and error by making decisions and receiving feedback on those decisions. Each incorrect prediction helps the model understand what actions should be avoided in the future. Gradually, the model improves its performance and becomes more accurate. In the next step, after receiving enough feedback and learning from its mistakes, the model will be more likely to identify the image correctly as a dog rather than a cat. This continuous cycle of action, feedback, and improvement is the foundation of reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning from positive feedback. Let us continue with the previous example. Earlier, the model incorrectly identified the image of a dog as a cat and received negative feedback. As a result, the model learned that its prediction was wrong and adjusted its decision-making process. Now, when the same image is shown again, the model uses what it learned from its earlier mistake. This time, it correctly identifies the image as a dog. Since the prediction is correct, the model receives positive feedback, also known as a reward. This reward tells the model that it has made the right decision. The model then strengthens the pattern that led to the correct prediction. In other words, it becomes more confident about identifying similar images correctly in the future. This cycle of making predictions, receiving feedback, and improving continues throughout the training process. Every correct prediction earns a reward, while incorrect predictions result in penalties or negative feedback. As more training images are provided and more feedback is received, the model gradually becomes smarter and more accurate. It learns which actions lead to successful outcomes and which actions should be avoided. This ability to learn from rewards and penalties is what makes reinforcement learning different from other machine learning approaches. Over time, the model continuously improves its performance through experience and feedback. Real-world applications of reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is widely used in many real-world applications where systems need to learn through experience and continuously improve their performance. One important application is robotics. Robots learn tasks such as walking, balancing, lifting objects, and performing complex movements. Through repeated practice and feedback, they gradually improve their accuracy and efficiency. Another popular application is gaming. AI systems such as AlphaGo and AlphaZero learn to play complex games by competing against themselves millions of times. By receiving rewards for successful moves and penalties for poor decisions, they developed highly effective strategies. Reinforcement learning is also a key technology behind self-driving cars. These vehicles learn how to navigate roads safely, follow traffic rules, avoid obstacles, and make driving decisions based on real-time conditions. Continuous feedback helps improve their performance over time. Another exciting application is autonomous drones. These drones learn how to navigate through different environments, avoid obstacles, select optimal flight paths, and complete missions efficiently. By learning from their interactions with the environment, they become more reliable and accurate. All these examples demonstrate the same core principle of reinforcement learning. The system learns by taking actions, receiving feedback in the form of rewards or penalties, and continuously improving its behavior to achieve the best possible outcome. Key features of reinforcement learning. Now let us look at some of the important features that make reinforcement learning unique and powerful. The first feature is that reinforcement learning does not depend on a fixed labeled dataset. Instead, the agent learns continuously by interacting with its environment and observing the results of its actions. The second feature is that the agent explores different actions on its own. Through this exploration, it discovers which actions lead to positive rewards and gradually improves its performance over time. The third feature is that reinforcement learning follows a trial-and-error approach. The system learns from both successes and mistakes. By using past experiences, it gradually identifies the best strategies for completing tasks effectively. Another important feature is its ability to solve complex problems. Reinforcement learning is often used in situations where traditional methods may struggle to find the best solution, especially when there are many possible decisions to consider. The fifth feature is adaptability. Reinforcement learning can work effectively even in uncertain or changing environments. Since it learns from experience, it can adjust its behavior when conditions change. The final feature is flexibility. As environments evolve, the agent continues learning and improving. It can discover effective solutions without requiring extensive prior knowledge or a large set of manually created rules. These features make reinforcement learning especially useful in applications such as robotics, self-driving cars, game-playing systems, and autonomous drones, where continuous learning and adaptation are essential for success. Recap of machine learning models. We have now completed our study of the three main categories of machine learning models. Let us quickly summarize what we have learned. The first category is supervised learning. In this approach, the model learns from labeled data, where the correct answers are already provided. By studying these examples, the model learns the relationship between inputs and outputs and can make predictions or classifications for new data. The second category is unsupervised learning. Here, the model works with unlabeled data. Since no correct answers are provided, the model explores the data independently and identifies hidden patterns, similarities, relationships, and groups within the dataset. The third category is reinforcement learning. In this approach, the model learns through interaction with its environment. It receives rewards for correct actions and penalties for incorrect ones. Through trial and error, it gradually learns the best strategy for achieving its goal. As shown in the diagram, supervised learning focuses on establishing relationships using labeled examples. Unsupervised learning focuses on discovering hidden structures and patterns in unlabeled data. Reinforcement learning focuses on learning from experience through rewards and penalties. Understanding these three learning approaches is important because they form the foundation of modern artificial intelligence systems and are used in a wide range of real-world applications. Classification and regression in supervised learning. Now that we understand supervised learning, let us look at its two main types. Supervised learning models can be broadly divided into classification models and regression models. A classification model is used when the output belongs to a specific category or class. In other words, the model predicts a label from a fixed set of possible options. For example, a model may classify an email as spam or not spam, identify whether an image contains a cat or a dog, or determine the type of vehicle shown in a picture. A regression model, on the other hand, is used when the output is a continuous numerical value. Instead of predicting a category, it predicts a quantity or measurement. For example, a regression model can estimate the price of a house, predict tomorrow's temperature, or forecast the sales of a business. As shown in the diagram, supervised learning models are divided into these two categories based on the type of output they produce. If the goal is to predict a class or category, we use a classification model. If the goal is to predict a numerical value, we use a regression model. In the following sections, we will explore both classification and regression models in detail and understand how they work with real-world examples. Understanding classification models. Let us now explore the first type of supervised learning model, known as classification. Classification is a supervised learning technique in which the training data is labeled and divided into different categories or classes. During training, the model learns the characteristics of each category by studying labeled examples. Once the training process is complete, the model can examine new data and assign it to one of the predefined categories. Classification works with discrete outputs, meaning the prediction belongs to a specific class rather than a numerical value. For example, a model may classify an email as spam or not spam, identify whether an image contains a cat or a dog, or determine whether a transaction is fraudulent or legitimate. In the example shown on this slide, the model is trained using labeled images of guitars and pianos. Each image is associated with the correct label, helping the model learn the visual features of both musical instruments. During training, the model studies characteristics such as shape, structure, size, and appearance. It learns the differences between guitars and pianos by analyzing many labeled examples. After training, when a new image is provided, the model compares its features with the patterns it has learned and predicts the correct category. If the image resembles a guitar, it is classified as a guitar. If it matches the characteristics of a piano, it is classified as a piano. This is the fundamental idea behind classification models, learning from labeled examples and assigning new data to the most appropriate category. Binary classification and classification boundaries. Let us take a closer look at how classification models separate data into different categories. After being trained on labeled examples, a classification model learns the patterns associated with each category. It then uses this knowledge to predict the correct category for new and unseen data. In some situations, a model only needs to choose between two possible categories. This type of classification is known as binary classification. For example, a model may classify emails as spam or not spam, determine whether a transaction is fraudulent or legitimate, or identify whether an image contains a cat or a dog. The graph shown on this slide illustrates the concept of binary classification. The red and green data points represent two different categories. The dotted line in the graph is called the classification boundary or decision boundary. It acts as a dividing line between the two categories. Data points on one side of the boundary belong to one category, while data points on the other side belong to the second category. When a new data point is introduced, the model checks on which side of the boundary it falls. Based on its position, the model assigns it to the appropriate category. The better the model learns from the training data, the more accurately it can create this boundary and classify new data points correctly. This ability to separate data into distinct groups is what makes classification models useful for solving many real-world prediction and decision-making problems. Classification example predicting snowfall. Let us understand classification with a real-world example of predicting whether snowfall will occur on a particular day. In this case, the model is trained using historical weather data collected over many years. The goal is to classify a day into one of two categories, snowfall or no snowfall. To make this prediction, the model studies several important factors. One factor is the geographical region. Some locations experience snowfall more frequently than others due to their climate and altitude. Another factor is the season. Snowfall is generally more common during the winter months when temperatures are lower. The model also considers temperature, which is one of the most important indicators. When the temperature falls below the freezing point, the chances of snowfall increase significantly. Humidity is another factor. Higher humidity means there is more moisture in the air, which can contribute to the formation of snow under suitable conditions. The model also examines precipitation. If precipitation occurs while temperatures remain below freezing, snow is more likely to form instead of rain. By analyzing these factors from past weather records, the classification model learns patterns associated with snowfall events. When new weather data is provided, the model uses these learned patterns to predict one of two possible outcomes, snowfall or no snowfall. Since the prediction belongs to one of two categories, this is a classic example of binary classification. Classification prediction: snowfall or no snowfall. After the classification model has been trained using historical weather data, it is ready to make predictions on new data. Suppose we provide the model with weather information for the next day, including factors such as geographical region, season, temperature, humidity, and precipitation. The trained model analyzes these conditions and compares them with the patterns it learned during training. Based on this analysis, it predicts the most suitable category. In this example, the model has only two possible outcomes: snowfall or no snowfall. If the weather conditions resemble patterns that previously led to snowfall, the model predicts snowfall. On the other hand, if the conditions do not support snow formation, it predicts no snowfall. This demonstrates how a classification model assigns new data to one of the predefined categories. Since there are only two possible classes, this is an example of binary classification. Such models are widely used in weather forecasting to help predict future weather conditions and support decision-making. Classification example: spam email detection. Another common application of classification is spam email detection. In this example, an email classification model is trained using previously labeled emails. Each email is marked as either spam or genuine, allowing the model to learn the differences between the two categories. During training, the model examines several important features. It looks for specific keywords such as free price, limited time deal, or urgent action required, which are commonly found in spam emails. The model also considers sender details, checking whether the email comes from a trusted contact or an unknown source. Another important factor is the email format and structure. Spam emails often contain excessive links, suspicious attachments, or misleading subject lines. The model also analyzes punctuation and writing style. For example, messages containing excessive capital letters, repeated exclamation marks, or overly promotional language may indicate spam. By learning patterns from these labeled examples, the classification model can automatically predict whether a new incoming email should be placed in the spam category or the genuine category, helping users keep their inboxes safe and organized. Classification model prediction for new emails. Once the email classification model has been trained, it can be used to analyze new incoming emails automatically. Whenever a new email arrives, the model examines various features such as keywords, sender information, email structure, links, attachments, and writing style. It then compares these features with the patterns it learned during training. Based on this analysis, the model predicts whether the email belongs to the spam category or the not spam category. If the email appears legitimate and matches the characteristics of genuine emails, it is delivered to the user's inbox. However, if the email contains suspicious patterns commonly associated with spam, it is moved to the spam folder. This process happens automatically and in real time, allowing users to focus on important messages while reducing unwanted or potentially harmful emails. This is another example of binary classification, where the model chooses between two possible categories, spam and not spam. Introduction to regression in machine learning. Regression is a type of supervised learning that is used to predict continuous numerical values rather than categories. Unlike classification, where the output belongs to a fixed group such as spam or not spam, regression predicts values that can take any number within a given range. Examples include predicting house prices, stock prices, rainfall amounts, or future sales. To make these predictions, the model learns from historical data and identifies relationships between different variables. For example, in stock market prediction, factors such as previous stock prices, market trends, and economic conditions can be used to estimate future prices. In simple terms, a regression model studies how one variable changes with respect to another variable. It then creates a mathematical relationship, often called a mapping function, which can be used to estimate unknown or future values. Because regression deals with numerical data and continuous outputs, it is widely used in forecasting, trend analysis, and prediction-based applications across various industries. Regression example predicting future salary growth. Let us understand regression with a simple example of salary prediction. Suppose an organization has an employee's salary records from previous years. A regression model can use this historical data to predict the employee's future salary growth. During training, the model analyzes the relationship between variables such as years of experience, performance, and past salary trends. It then identifies a pattern in the data and creates a mathematical model that best represents that trend. In the graph shown, the individual dots represent known salary data collected over time. These are the actual data points used to train the model. The smooth curve, known as the best fit line or regression curve, represents the pattern learned by the model. This curve helps estimate future salary values based on past trends. When new information is provided, the regression model uses this learned relationship to predict future salaries. Unlike classification, which predicts categories, regression predicts continuous numerical values. This makes regression especially useful for forecasting problems such as salary prediction, sales forecasting, stock market analysis, house price estimation, and demand prediction. Regression example predicting house prices. One of the most common applications of regression is house price prediction. In this example, the goal is to estimate the price of a house based on various factors that influence its value. Since house prices can take any numerical value within a range, this is a regression problem. The target variable, or output, is the house price. To make predictions, the model uses several input features. These features may include the area of the house, its location, the availability of nearby facilities such as schools, hospitals, and metro stations, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and the age of the property. During training, the model studies historical housing data where the features and actual house prices are already known. It learns the relationship between these factors and the selling price of houses. Once trained, the regression model can estimate the price of a new house by analyzing its features. For example, a larger house in a prime location with modern facilities may receive a higher predicted price than a smaller house in a less developed area. This ability to predict continuous numerical values makes regression an important tool in real estate valuation and market analysis. Regression example forecasting retail sales revenue. Another practical application of regression is forecasting retail sales revenue. In this example, the goal is to predict the monthly sales income of a retail business. Since revenue is a numerical value that can vary continuously, this problem is well suited for a regression model. The target variable, or output, is the sales revenue. To make accurate predictions, the model considers several input features. These features may include advertising expenses, such as money spent on television, newspapers, or social media promotions. It also considers seasonal demand, which often increases during festivals and holiday seasons. Other important factors include product pricing, economic conditions such as inflation and tax changes, and customer footfall, which refers to the number of visitors entering the store. During training, the model analyzes historical sales records and learns how these factors influence revenue. It identifies patterns and relationships between the input features and actual sales figures. Once trained, the regression model can estimate future sales revenue for upcoming months. This helps businesses plan inventory, manage budgets, design marketing campaigns, and make informed business decisions. Because it predicts continuous numerical values, forecasting sales revenue is a classic example of a regression problem in machine learning. Categories of unsupervised learning models. Unsupervised learning models can be broadly divided into two main categories: clustering models and association models. Both of these approaches work with unlabeled data, meaning the data does not contain predefined answers or categories. Instead, the model explores the data on its own to discover useful patterns and relationships. The first category is clustering. In clustering, the model groups similar data points together based on shared characteristics. The goal is to identify natural clusters or segments within the data. For example, a music streaming service may group users with similar listening habits into different customer segments. The second category is association. Association models focus on discovering relationships between different items or events in a dataset. They identify patterns that frequently occur together. For example, in a supermarket, an association model may find that customers who buy bread often also buy butter. Thus, while clustering helps group similar data, association helps discover relationships between data items. These two techniques form the foundation of many unsupervised learning applications used in business, marketing, recommendation systems, and data analysis. Clustering in unsupervised learning. Clustering is a type of unsupervised learning in which a machine learning model groups similar data points into different clusters or categories. Unlike supervised learning, clustering does not use labeled data. Instead, the model receives unlabeled data and automatically discovers patterns, similarities, and relationships within the dataset. The main objective of clustering is to place data points that are similar to each other into the same group, while keeping dissimilar data points in separate groups. During the clustering process, the developer provides the dataset, but does not specify how the data should be grouped. The algorithm analyzes the characteristics of the data and identifies natural groupings on its own. In the graph shown, the model has identified two distinct clusters. The data points inside each oval share similar characteristics and are therefore grouped together. At the same time, the points in one cluster are different from those in the other cluster. Clustering is widely used in customer segmentation, recommendation systems, image analysis, market research, and pattern recognition, where the goal is to discover hidden structures in unlabeled data. Clustering example: organizing photos in a smartphone gallery. A common real-world application of clustering can be seen in modern smartphone photo galleries. When users store hundreds or even thousands of photos, the images are usually not labeled manually. Despite this, the smartphone can automatically organize similar photos into different groups. The clustering model analyzes the visual content of each image and identifies similarities between them. Based on these similarities, it creates different clusters. In this example, the model receives a collection of mixed and unlabeled images. After analyzing the images, it automatically forms two groups. Cluster 1 contains pictures of people because these images share similar visual characteristics such as faces and human features. Cluster 2 contains pictures of landscapes because these images share common elements such as mountains, rivers, trees, and open scenery. Notice that no labels such as people or landscape were provided during training. The model discovered these patterns on its own and grouped similar images together. This clustering process helps users search, organize, and manage their photo collections more efficiently, making it easier to find specific types of images when needed. Clustering example customer segmentation in a supermarket. Let us look at a practical example of clustering in a supermarket. Suppose Sarah owns a supermarket and wants to understand her customers better. She collects information about their shopping habits, such as how often they visit the store, how much they spend during each visit, and the types of products they purchase. Since there are no predefined customer categories, the data is considered unlabeled. Sarah uses a clustering model to analyze this information and identify groups of customers with similar behavior. After analyzing the data, the model automatically creates different clusters. Cluster 1 contains regular customers who visit frequently and mainly purchase everyday household essentials. Cluster 2 includes occasional shoppers who tend to buy luxury products or seasonal items. Cluster 3 consists of smart shoppers who mostly visit during sales, discounts, or special promotional offers. The clustering model discovers these groups by identifying patterns and similarities in customer behavior rather than relying on predefined labels. Once these clusters are formed, the supermarket can use them for targeted marketing, personalized offers, customer retention strategies, and improved business planning. This example shows how clustering helps businesses better understand their customers and uncover valuable insights from unlabeled data. Clustering example grouping search engine results. Another example of clustering can be seen in search engines. Suppose a user searches for best smartphones. The search engine retrieves thousands of web pages related to the query. Instead of displaying all results in a random order, the system analyzes the content and groups similar results together. Using clustering techniques, the search engine identifies patterns and creates different groups of related information. Cluster first may contain reviews, ratings, and comparisons of the latest smartphones. Cluster second may include online shopping websites where users can purchase smartphones. Cluster third may consist of news articles discussing upcoming smartphone launches, new technologies, and industry updates. Notice that no predefined labels are provided to the clustering algorithm. The model automatically discovers similarities among web pages and organizes them into meaningful groups. This helps users quickly find the type of information they are looking for, whether they want product reviews, shopping options, or the latest news. Such clustering techniques improve search accuracy, enhance user experience, and make large amounts of information easier to navigate and understand. Difference between clustering and classification. Now let us understand the difference between clustering and classification. Although both techniques are used to organize data, they work in different ways. Clustering is an unsupervised learning technique. It groups data into clusters based on similarities without using predefined labels. The model discovers patterns on its own and creates natural groups within the data. Classification, on the other hand, is a supervised learning technique. It uses labeled data during training and learns to assign new data to predefined categories. Another important difference is the type of data used. Clustering works with unlabeled data, whereas classification works with labeled data. For example, clustering can be used to group customers based on their shopping behavior without knowing the categories beforehand. The model automatically identifies similar customers and places them in the same cluster. In contrast, classification can be used to identify whether an email is spam or not spam. Since these categories are already known, the model learns from labeled examples and predicts the correct category for new emails. The output is also different. Clustering produces groups or clusters of similar data points, while classification assigns each data point to a specific predefined category, such as dog or cat, spam or not spam, or snowfall or no snowfall. To summarize, clustering discovers hidden groups in unlabeled data, whereas classification predicts known categories using labeled data. Association. Now let us learn about association, another important type of unsupervised learning model. Association is a technique used to discover relationships or connections between items in a dataset. It identifies patterns where the occurrence of one item is linked to the occurrence of another item. Unlike supervised learning, association does not require labeled data. Instead, it analyzes large amounts of data and uncovers hidden relationships that may not be immediately obvious. A common real-world application of association is market basket analysis. Retail stores use this technique to study customer purchasing behavior and identify products that are frequently bought together. For example, if many customers who purchase bread also buy butter, the model discovers an association between these two items. Similarly, customers buying chips may often purchase soft drinks as well. These patterns help businesses make better decisions, such as arranging products together, creating promotional offers, and improving product recommendations. In summary, association learning focuses on finding relationships between items in unlabeled data and is widely used to understand customer buying patterns and purchasing trends. Association supermarket purchase example. Let us understand association learning with a simple supermarket example. Suppose a supermarket analyzes the shopping patterns of its customers. Customer A buys bread, butter, and milk. Customer B buys bread, butter, and wheat flour. When the system examines these purchase records, it notices an interesting pattern. Both customers who purchased bread also purchased butter. Based on this repeated occurrence, the association model learns a relationship between these products. It discovers the rule. If a customer buys bread, there is a high chance that the customer will also buy butter. Now, when a new customer, shown here as customer X, buys bread, the system can recommend butter as an additional product. This is how association learning helps businesses identify products that are frequently bought together. Online shopping websites, supermarkets, and food delivery apps commonly use association models to provide product recommendations, increase sales, and improve customer experience. In summary, association learning discovers relationships between items and predicts what products are likely to be purchased together based on past customer behavior. Association product recommendation systems. Let us continue with our supermarket example. Based on the purchase patterns observed earlier, the association model has learned that customers who buy bread often buy butter as well. Therefore, if customer X purchases bread, the system predicts that butter is the most likely additional item to be purchased. Although some customers may also buy milk or wheat flour, butter has the strongest association because it appeared consistently with bread in previous transactions. This type of relationship is called an association rule. Association rules help businesses understand customer buying behavior and recommend products that are frequently purchased together. A popular real-world example of association learning can be seen on online shopping platforms such as Amazon. When customers view a product, They often see recommendations like frequently bought together or customers who bought this item also bought. These suggestions are generated by analyzing large amounts of past purchase data and identifying products that commonly appear together in customer transactions. As a result, customers receive useful recommendations, businesses increase sales opportunities, and the overall shopping experience becomes more convenient and personalized. In summary, association learning helps predict related products by discovering patterns in customer purchase history and is widely used in recommendation systems. Comparison between machine learning models. Let us summarize and compare the different machine learning models we have studied so far. Machine learning models can be broadly divided into supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning, each having a different objective and method of learning. Under supervised learning, we have classification and regression models. Classification is a task-driven model that learns from labeled data and assigns new data to predefined categories. Examples include email spam detection, image recognition, and language identification. It works with discrete and labeled data. Regression is also a supervised learning model, but it predicts continuous numerical values. It studies the relationship between variables and estimates future outcomes. Common applications include weather forecasting, stock price prediction, and economic growth analysis. It works with continuous and labeled data. Under unsupervised learning, we studied clustering and association models. Clustering is a data-driven model that groups similar data points into clusters without predefined labels. It works with unlabeled data and is commonly used in search engines, social network analysis, and customer segmentation. Association identifies relationships and patterns between items in large datasets. It is widely used in market basket analysis to discover products that are frequently purchased together. This model mainly works with categorical data. Finally, reinforcement learning follows a reward and feedback approach. An intelligent agent interacts with its environment, learns from its actions, and continuously improves by maximizing rewards while minimizing mistakes. Applications include recommendation systems, self-driving cars, robotics, and AI systems such as AlphaGo. In summary, classification and regression learn from labeled data, clustering and association discover patterns in unlabeled data, and reinforcement learning improves through rewards and feedback from experience. Categories of deep learning. Now let us move from machine learning to deep learning, an advanced branch of artificial intelligence. Deep learning, or DL, enables machines to learn from very large amounts of data, often referred to as big data. As the volume of data increases, deep learning models become more effective at identifying patterns and making accurate decisions. Deep learning is based on artificial neural networks, which are inspired by the structure and working of the human brain. Just as the human brain processes information through interconnected neurons, deep learning models use multiple layers of artificial neurons to analyze data and learn complex patterns. Unlike traditional machine learning models that often require manual feature selection, deep learning systems can automatically learn important features from data and improve their performance through training. Because of this capability, deep learning is widely used in applications such as image recognition, speech recognition, language translation, medical diagnosis, and autonomous vehicles. For example, in a self-driving car, a deep learning model can analyze camera images, identify pedestrians, recognize traffic signs, and make driving decisions in real time. There are two major categories of deep learning models discussed in this chapter: artificial neural network and convolutional neural network, CNN. In the next sections, we will explore these two deep learning models and understand how they work in solving real-world problems. Artificial Neural Network and Now let us understand artificial neural networks, commonly known as ANNs. Artificial neural networks are one of the most important components of deep learning. They are computer models designed to imitate the way the human brain processes and learns information. Just as the human brain consists of billions of interconnected neurons, and consists of interconnected artificial neurons that work together to process data and solve problems. Neural networks are a subfield of artificial intelligence and a powerful extension of machine learning. They are especially useful when dealing with large and complex datasets. The human brain learns from experience and past observations. Similarly, an artificial neural network learns from examples provided during training. It studies large amounts of input data, identifies patterns and relationships, and gradually improves its ability to make accurate predictions. During training, the network analyzes the data repeatedly, learns from mistakes, and adjusts itself to improve performance. Once trained, it can apply this learned knowledge to new and unseen data. Artificial neural networks are particularly effective for tasks involving large datasets such as images, videos, speech, and text because they can recognize complex patterns that may be difficult for traditional machine learning models to detect. One of the greatest advantages of neural networks is that, after training, they can process new data automatically and make decisions or predictions with very little human intervention. In summary, an artificial neural network is a deep learning model inspired by the human brain that learns from large amounts of data, recognizes patterns, and makes intelligent predictions or decisions. Convolutional Neural Network, CNN. Now let us learn about the convolutional neural network, commonly known as CNN. A convolutional neural network is a specialized type of deep learning model designed primarily for processing and analyzing images. Unlike traditional machine learning models, CNNs can automatically identify important features within an image, such as edges, shapes, colors, textures, and patterns. When an image is provided as input, the CNN examines different parts of the image and assigns importance to various features using learnable parameters called weights and biases. Through training, the network learns which features are most useful for recognizing and distinguishing objects. For example, if a CNN is trained to identify cats and dogs, it learns important visual features such as ear shape, facial structure, for patterns, and body shape. These learned features help the model correctly classify new images. One of the biggest advantages of CNNs is that they can automatically extract features from images without requiring humans to manually define them. Because of their high accuracy in image analysis, CNNs are widely used in applications such as facial recognition, medical image diagnosis, self-driving cars, security surveillance systems, and object detection. In summary, a convolutional neural network is a deep learning model specially designed for image processing that learns important visual features and uses them to recognize, classify, and differentiate images accurately. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this lesson helpful, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more educational content. You can download the complete notes from the link given in the description box. Also, join our Telegram channel for study materials and updates, and follow our Instagram page for more educational content. All the links are provided in the description box below. Keep learning and stay connected.